Front cover of the Post, frightening incident outside of Rochester.
For the incident, I noticed a gentleman walking into the rally, kind of staggering, and he didn't seem right. It was really high energy, very positive atmosphere, large crowd, and when he came in, just didn't seem to have the same vibe.
Yeah, I believe the correct term is drunk off his ass, and the reason this candidate doesn't use the word drunk is because it diminishes the drama that they're going for by staging this whole thing in the first place.
Front cover of the Post, frightening incident outside of Rochester where a man jumped on stage.
His eyes already shrink-wrapped in tears.
How lucky that the attacker taps Zeldin on the shoulder to let him know he's about to stab him. I mean, this is like they got the idea from the Dave Chappelle incident a few weeks ago. My question is, why does Zeldin look more protective of his microphone than himself? Is he afraid the guy is going to grab the mic? He wouldn't drop the microphone and just beat the shit out of the guy?
Campaign event for Congressman Lee Zeldin, who's a Republican candidate for governor, lunging at him and swinging a sharp weapon at him before he was subdued.
Knees together, those awkward little steps.
David Jacobonis was charged with second-degree assault, but released later without bail, and that led Republicans around the state and around the country to criticize New York's bail laws as too lenient. Now, Zeldin also on the cover of Newsday noting the Zeldin campaign taking more steps to provide security as he continues his campaign for governor. And finally, in the Wall Street Journal review section, Adam Kirsch writes about the power of our new pop myths. Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, other franchises, how they have become central to our culture.
I honestly believe it's by design that they put the most sniveling, spineless, quote, reporters, unquote, as journalists that are supposed to keep us informed, when they'll block you over the slightest disagreement or misunderstanding even. I mean, what kind of reporter blocks the constituency?
The sheriff's
Where's the
personnel
objectivity in that?
or people that were bystanders, they subdued the attacker and took him down, and he is in custody. But it was a very scary event. It's not something we're accustomed to seeing at political events, and this rhetoric is getting far too hot right now.
This is obviously a developing story that we will continue to follow throughout the evening, and we will have the latest on this on Channel 2 News Daybreak beginning at 4:30 a.m.
So thanks for having me on, Tucker. So I was the master of ceremonies of the rally last night. I'm also running for the New York State Assembly in that area in Fairport. And about 5 minutes before the incident, I noticed a gentleman walking into the rally, kind of staggering, and he didn't seem right. It was really high energy, very positive atmosphere, large crowd, and when he came in, just didn't seem to have the same vibe. And I took notice of that. I was standing just off stage. Saw him walk up to the edge of the side of the stage where several other people were. He stood there, was watching. I continued to watch him a little bit as I was continuing to watch the congressman as well. And then he jumped up onto the stage. I couldn't get to where he was at that time, so I ran around behind the stage, came up behind the congressman as I didn't know exactly what this guy's intentions were. As he walked up, I watched him, and he walked directly up to the congressman, as your viewers just saw. Told the congressman that you're done, and then he pulled a weapon that was attached to his hand, and he swung at Congressman Zeldin's face or his throat area. Congressman Zeldin was able to block that strike or attempted strike and hold his wrist. As he pulled his wrist back to try to swing again, I grabbed him from behind, was able to bear hug him and slam him down to the ground, where we were able to eventually get his weapon away from him and restrain him until law enforcement came.
Amazing. Have you ever been a cop? How do you have such high situational awareness?
No, I was a Marine for 7 years active duty. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan. Some of those instincts kicked in as well, and was really blessed to be around some really fast-reacting people.
Amen. I'm so glad you were there. Impressive. Joe Chenley, thank you very much for coming on tonight. Good luck in your race.
Thank you, Tucker. I appreciate it. Of course.